Hello and welcome as we head into Wednesday, the 8th day of March 2017. My name is Derek, and let's take a look at the Bitcoin charts. But before we get into that, I noticed on eBay that some interesting sales are being made regarding Bitcoin and some interesting prices overseas. And overseas from the Americas, that is. 39.50 US for 0.02 Bitcoin. Now, I recently was thinking to myself, hey, wait a second, maybe these gift cards that I see in gas stations, maybe they have Bitcoin ones. They can get MasterCards, Visa, restaurant cards, Netflix, things like that. So I searched the internet, and sure enough, the gas station that I go to actually has them, which is Canadian Tire in Canada. And I go there and I asked the clerk after I couldn't find it on the gift card section, and she had no idea what Bitcoin was. So I go back and I research it on the internet again, and they actually give instructions for how to tell the clerk how to get it. Like they don't know, which I found very interesting. So the next day I go up, and one of the senior clerks was working, and well, I sure enough had to use the information they gave me, and I got the 20 Bitcoin, but it worked out to be 20 plus $1.95. So I wanted to see what the rake was, and I'm thinking, okay, well maybe if I bet 50, it'll be still $1.95. So I went and I put this into my Bitcoin, and then they took 9% off the 20 to go 18.20. So I bought it again. Well, there's a reason for that. So I just spent $43.90 to get $36.40 worth of Bitcoins, but they had a promo where if you buy twice, they'll give you $5 worth of free Bitcoins. Well, that'll be $4.55. So it's going to net cost me $43.90 to get $40.95. So I'm going to end up paying about $3 over spot, or what's going to work out to be about a 7% rake. And that's a lot for me. I think that's too much. But it seems that that might be what has to be done here, because this is an incredibly, really bad price for 45 millibits. And 16 have been sold. 287 of these have been sold, and 6 people have bid on something that has about a $2.50 value. So I find that very interesting, to say the least. Let's continue on. These are the codes in which I have been trading on the Poloniex website. And what I'm going to be doing is going through every single one of these. Now, if anyone is interested in the data at a pay what you think it's worth, let me know, because if at least one person is interested, I can put this up in a PDF file. If no one's interested, I'm just going to grab a notepad and just write it down with a pen and paper like I would in high school when I was doing studying, for example. But there's 80 different codes in here. Go through what I can see as far as what might be risky setups, great setups, different things of note that I can see in each one. Like, for example, this is my main one that I got in here. So if anyone is writing this right now, what I'm really loving is the amount of aggressive buy orders, roughly at around the 2,900 to 3,000 mark. I do not see this market falling below 29, and even 3,000, it would be a very large surprise. I'm still very bullish on this. As far as the pump and dump is concerned on this, I mean, this definitely is a concern for me, but I don't think it's going to happen now. The first move that occurred to the upside gave me enough profits where if they dump it now, I won't lose much. And if I get one leg higher, I can't lose. That's the way I look at how I'm investing within such. But if you're interested, I can now analyze all 80 of these in a PDF format. Let me know within the comments section. All right, so now let's move on to the chart, which it's basically got this little sideways movement, and it's been an uptrend since the start of the year. From this point in here, there has been no long-term support of this level. With that being said, gold has never found support of its $1,000 mark from its big point either. So just because it's supposed to find support or it's a big level doesn't mean that it will. However, if any more weakness is to follow through and this level doesn't hold, it's not much of a gap through, but it's still enough for you to make this the next key level of support down in at around the 10 or 1141 mark. Going below that is 1053 in here, and in case you want to know the one below that, 926, I very highly doubt that. I think if anything, it might pierce this level, which means if it falls down here, it'd have a fast move probably close to this previous high. Something like this, maybe if it goes down as that far. But I think the chances would be best support candidate would be the previous high if there's continued down movement. And now because of the strength of the sideways move, that gives you the larger strength of breaking the resistance of 1295 or 1298 even. And I say that in such that on day 2 after the high, it's a big to break it, but 1298 wasn't as established as strong. And now that it's had the sideways movement and a little bit of price down, then it's a big move. And now the question will come in, is this just going to be a sideways correction? Because markets can correct one of two ways, either sideways through price or through time, and then through price as the alternate one. And of course, breaking down below here and setting up anything below the band is a correction through price. Any correction within the band is basically a time correction. Moving this further to the hourly or half-hour chart, rather, this is not the dates. This is 3 days and change. So with that being stated, the move today had this occur and fast move to the upside, and expect this to continue to come into play when there are big sell-offs to rebound it fast. This was minutes. It wasn't long. But that's because if you have a large portion to buy, the amount to buy like a 2%, 1%, 3% move is a heck of a lot cheaper here than it would have been any time back here, because the orders that would have been in place for such are scarce for a decent amount of time. As the market is selling off, that means all the orders for people to sell at like 1180, 1900, 1200, 1210 are scarce. So they can buy them up a lot cheaper on that manner. So with that being stated, continue to see a lot more of those kinds of moves as we move forward. And this level of resistance was taken out, but it didn't do much after that, because you break above this band, you come back in here, so resistance is established, and it never tested it. So now in the situation, after this down move, it's had its correctionary phase within this band. It's had this support taken out, back down to a key Fibonacci point, and even in this time frame in here, it's showing weakness as if this thing wants to continue to go lower. 1204 is the next level of key support. I think the probable situation, if it continues to go lower, is that it would come here, it would be matched with this low, and then have some sort of bounce. If the market is to have any more type of rally, I would look towards the 1232, 1233 area, or definitely wherever this support happens to be as a level of resistance. I put a short in roughly around here, and I covered out of most of it or half of it in here. I re-entered for another short position in here, very small one, and I've got out of most of it in here, and I got a small amount to get out in here. So that's how I am playing it. And what I'm getting out of is like literally like 3% of what I have on the Bitcoin scale. So it's like nothing. It's just like trying to add a small percentage with all the different trades that I'm making. Because as long as I see any type of bearish pattern within it, I'm going to have to take advantage of it and just keep on going for different scalps to the downside until this market can correct within this time frame, or at least within this move. Once I see that this can regain bullishness from this pattern, then it's dumb to short it, and it's very good to play the long position. Until now, unless you're trying to buy on the dips, then as the price goes down, then that's great opportunities to buy, as the case would be down in here. But other than that, the pattern right now is for lower highs and lower lows within this, and of course breaking down below this 1175 in here does bring us to probably that quick move into here, where the probability of a move to have this size, 1175 to 1140, which is like 3% in like 30 minutes, yeah, that's reasonable. And that is how I'm going to end the vid. Thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.